Hey guys, I'm Alan. I'm here to talk about something a little more interesting than usual, to me at least. I don't know about you guys, but I just like talking for hours on end. Um, except I don't like to talk for hours actually, I get really tired. So there's this instance at my Christmas party that I held with my sister that really just got me a little bothered, I guess. It riled me up. There's this board game which you play where they ask you moral and philosophical questions and what would you do if, this happened? And you'd answer truthfully and it'd show you a lot about someone. So the box says. Somewhere along the track though, we were playing this game. It became very metaphysical in the sense that the questions were more questionable and worrying, and if you were to answer them truthfully in a way that you felt was true to yourself, it'd make you look bad, so you'd only answer it in a way that you'd believe someone would want to see you as. I guess that's what I'm referred to as being metaphysical. But it became apparent to me that you could either lie or you could play the game to win. Or just answer the questions honestly as to kind of show people what kind of person you are. Whether to take advantage of that was up to you, but that was on the table. It was interesting that nobody that played the game was willing or comfortable enough to at least, you know, reveal that a bad side to themselves or something that they would actually do. Unless in that case they're all really good and I'm just a really bad person at heart. But I believe that some people could have answered differently, um, or at least look at themselves in an objective view and actually answer honestly, because it seemed a lot of the answers that they gave was more subjective than objective. But that was my personal opinion. I didn't know whether that whether that was the case. Um, so I felt really daunted, but I really wanted to play the game in my own way. And when I was asked a certain question, which was along the lines of, you wanted to do an honors, and some other student had already written a paper that you could use. If you weren't going to be caught, would you cheat on your honors degree if you were provided the opportunity? And I answered, yeah, I probably would, because knowing myself, I would do something like that. And of course, not if no one knew about it, then yeah, I probably would. But by then, if I answered truthfully that yes, I would, it would be kind of ironic because if I did get honors, everyone would know, and so my aim of not letting anyone know that I was cheating would, you know, I just it would just be really, it's really just messed up. I thought the question was kind of messed up. If I, because I thought about it too much and I kind of just complicated it. And I guess I did complicate the game a bit too much by just thinking about it too deeply. But by then, saying that I would cheat, everyone looked at me kind of judgingly, like, "Is he serious? Would you really cheat?" And they were very judgmental and I guess disdainful that I would say something like that. But I wanted to answer truthfully, and I wanted to at least be fair to myself and try to be honest with to myself on what I probably would do. So yeah, it was just kind of uncomfortable for a bit. I mean, I would say no, I wouldn't cheat because I think depending on the case, I probably would not cheat. But that's just saying depends, as in like you'd sit on the fence. In reality, if I was to lean towards something, I probably would cheat, knowing myself, I would. Yeah. And then one of our friends was asked a question that bothered me a lot, which was if you were a police officer who captured a person who had committed a crime, like a hit and run, but you forget to tell them their rights, and they can get away because of a technicality, would you lie to the court and tell them that you told them rights? And the person who received this question answered no, he would not lie because it would go against his morality, and he was an honest person. And I disagreed because people can be dishonest at times, and you never know when, even though you're honest, whether you would lie. Um, I disagreed in the sense that I believe that the situation would be very different. It all depends. If you were in an alternate universe and you were an officer, and you you went under a vow of truth, and you really were really adamant about it, then yeah, I guess it would go against. It just depends on the morals that you uphold when you become this person. And so I felt his answer wasn't truthful, but this person, I believe, is a bit more stubborn than they'd like to admit, and probably would rather hold on to their ideals and uh, at least give me a chance to say that they might act otherwise. I guess they would rather hold on to the convictions. It's kind of a damning, I guess, um, perspective, but it's an honest one, and I hope they forgive me for being honest about it. Um, yeah, I guess my argument was that if you couldn't explain clearly that the victim was a young, like so young, someone that you loved or someone that you just cared about, uh, I someone that you felt was important to you, you would act differently because we all behave differently. Um, when you're under like extreme emotions, and you can't believe that your convictions would be there to be upheld when you get in a situation like that. And although my argument kind of made sense, or at least I hope they would see my side, my friend didn't want to at least see my side, and just stayed, I guess, on the fence about his decision to answer in that way. Um, but I guess it revealed in a broader sense that I feel a lot of policemen who are faced with a decision that conflicts between their emotions, their kind of inner values that they hold, their prejudices, and the public morals that get hammered into them by the justice system, and that they undertake as a police officer. You can really lose spirit, or your spirit can really break when you're faced with situations where they all come into conflict, and we can say, I guess, that our courts and laws are completely can't be, well, they're not fair, I guess. The laws right now, personally, I feel aren't fair, but we can sit on the fence with that. It's either fair or not fair. I mean, after all, these laws and these structures that we have are human. After all, we can't say that they are unbiased. And I'm not saying my friend's answer was wrong, but in the sense it revealed, I guess, something about myself, and something about my view of humanity, how people act. And people, I believe, are inherently selfish, and no matter what you try and do, you're always going to be selfish. And even if you want to be selfless and help others, you're going to be somewhat selfish to some degree. And I mean, there are so many examples I could just say, but none of that really come to my lips to easily say, I guess. Something like, if you needed to go to the toilet and someone was there, you let them go, but you really needed to go, you'd probably really would go, depending on how intense you need to go and go to the toilet. Something like that. You can't say that's selfless. It's something that you need. You'd be selfish with, because it's your own body, and you can't really control your body. I don't know. Unless you're really selfless and you'd shit your pants and let the other person do their thing. I guess it's just those little things. Sometimes you'd be a little selfish. And it comes to, I guess, the idea of, like, when you want to help others, you should always be a little selfish, because one day, if you keep being selfless, people are going to take advantage of you, one, or you're going to be so overwhelmed by the people that you help that you're going to have to take some time for yourself. And if you try to force your way through sacrificing your time and energy to help these other people, you're the one who's going to suffer. And no one else is going to be there to help you, because they're the ones who are needing help, not you. Yeah. Anyway, my other friend, who I talked about these kind of ideas, I guess I couldn't really explain myself, because she seemed really adamant that I was just a bit of an asshole for thinking this way. And she told me, I'm really happy you're not a policeman. Which I agreed, I would not be a good policeman, but I found that really naive. And it was a really naive opinion. But I mean, policemen are human beings, and although you have a lot of pomp and ceremony in becoming a policeman, taking vows and, getting the uniform and everything, when you strip away those laws and those values and the badge and uniform, and you just have just this person, you have someone who's just like you and me, who have these values of society that we just force upon them. And at times, these people will use the law for their own personal use, their own personal beliefs, their own values that they hold themselves, and what they interpret the laws to be used as. Whatever the case, in the end, let's just say that life is unfair. Because there's no right or wrong. And that's just kind of sad. I guess this whole video is just to kind of validate my own standpoint. And it's a very long-winded response. Anyway, if you're offended in any way, I do apologize. These are my own opinions that I see fit to say, and I kind of just need to express in my own way, because I'm not the kind of person who is comfortable with speaking to other people about my ideas. I like to write about them, record them, because my train of thought is one fluid motion, and I think I try to be as fair as I can when I'm talking about these kind of things. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Till next time.